In a small, quiet village nestled in the northern countryside, people began to notice something strange. Every night, men start to disappearing without a trace. No bodies, no evidence, not even a hint of where they could have gone. Some villagers whisper that it was the work of Fifine A8, the widow's ghost, spirit who haunt the village and take men away to keep her company in the afterlife. Youth, a middle-aged man in the village, dismissed the story as superstition nonsense. But then his best friend vanished one night, without a trace or a goodbye. As Youth walked home at night, he noticed something odd. In front of many houses, they hang women clothes in front of the house, which is odd because people usually hang their clothes to dry them during daytime and behind the house, not in front of the house like this. You'd shivered, feeling an eerie sensation, as if someone is watching him, even though he was alone. He tried to push the feeling aside, telling himself it was just a story that getting into his head. The next day, unable to shake his fear, Jude went to the village shaman. Hoping for reassurance, the shaman looked at him and said, "The widow ghost targets men who are weak and not married," she explained. "If she chooses you, there's no escaping her." She gave him a protective amulet and a piece of woman clothing, instruct them to carry them at all times. "Woman coats will ward off," she said. "The widow ghost only seeks men to join her. If she thinks that you are a woman or married, she may pass you by." Jude reluctantly took the shaman advice and kept the amulet in his pocket. But even with the protection, he couldn't shake the feeling that something was still following him, watching him from the shadows. That night, as Youth lay in bed trying to sleep, he heard a soft whisper in his ear, so close. It felt like someone was leaning in, brushing his skin. The voice was gentle, yet hauntingly cold, with a tinge of longing. "Come to me. I'm waiting." Youth jolted awake. His heart is pounding. He looked around his room but found nothing. The whisper has faded, but the faint smell of sweet, wilting flowers hung in the air, as if someone has been standing beside his bed moments before. He closed his eyes, telling himself it was just imagination, but the scent lingered, and the chill ran down his spine as he thought of the shaman's word. The whisper returned each night, growing more and more intense. One night, desperate to end the torment, he got out of bed, grabbed his amulet, and went to check around his house. As he looked out the window, he froze. Standing beneath a tree just beyond his fence was a tall woman in a flowing red dress. Her pale face glowed in the moonlight, her eyes hollow and empty. She stared directly at him, her gaze unwavering, and her lips stretched into a sad, twisted smile. Youth's breath caught in his throat. He shut the window, backed away, and crouched in the corner of his room, clutching the amulet tightly. He could still feel her gaze, as though her eyes could pierce through the walls. He prayed that she wouldn't come inside, that she would disappear with the first light of dawn. Even after that encounter, the widow ghost didn't relent. Each night, you'd hear her voice calling the same word, whisper in a gentle yet eerie tone. Come to me, I'm still waiting. In his desperation, You'd went to stay with his friend in another part of the village, far from his home. But when night fell, a sickly sweet floral scent filled the airs once more, and the whisper returned, softly caressing his ears. The widow ghost had followed him. His friend tried everything to help him: protective charms, holy water, even the priests from nearby village come to bless the house. But each night, the widow presence returned stronger than before, lingering in the shadows, waiting. One evening, they heard her footstep on the wooden door, slow and deliberate, coming closer to Youth's room. The air turned icy, and Youth's friends could feel an unearthly chill sweeping through the house. They huddled together, praying that she would just pass by, but you could feel her presence hovering just outside his door, her chilling whisper seeping through the cracks. As dawn approached, his friends assured him that the spirit would eventually move on, that she couldn't taunt him forever. But you could see the truth in the shaman's eye. The widow ghost was relentless. The following morning, his friend woke up to find Yute's empty bed. There was no sign of him in the house, nor anywhere in the village. No one knew where he had gone, and no one could find a single trace of him. The only clue was a faint trail of the red cloth leading toward the forest, ending at the edge of a dark, twisted tree. Villagers know that a ghost has taken him, claimed him as her own, and in the night followed, her whispers began to haunt others, drifting from house to house, looking for her next companion. On every full moon, villagers say they still see her. The tall woman in a red dress, standing in the shadows, her hollow eyes scanning the village, searching for the next victim, forever waiting.